Cha. Something you might buy that could turn out to be phony. Yeah, a horse.
Today Friday?
Today is Friday all day long. You know what that means? What are we
eating today? That's how we'd know what day it is, right?
No, Friday. Well, yes. I don't know. Friday here got changed up a little bit. So for Christmas, Allison Sheridan is here with us, everybody. Allison Sheridan finishing up the week with us. For Christmas, I got a bamboo steamer. And the thing is, I don't know why I kept looking for them at stores, and I wasn't finding them at stores. And then my special lady friend was like, Merry Christmas, because it turns out Amazon sells all kinds of bamboo steamers, and I buy all kinds of stuff on Amazon, but for some reason I didn't make that leap. So what we had been having on Fridays has pretty much been off the table since Christmas, because I'm learning to make dumplings. Like gyoza, like that kind of thing, with the bamboo steamer.
Bamboo steamer, is it to steam bamboo?
No. Why would you want to steam bamboo?
I don't know. You're the one who invented this new thing called a bamboo steamer.
Yeah,
I've never heard of it.
I did that 4,000 years ago. No, it's made of bamboo, and it's like a pan, except it's slotted on the bottom, and you put it either over a pot of boiling water or in a pot of boiling water. Just make sure that the stuff that you're cooking is not actually touching the water. Because
it's a device to steam things that is made of bamboo.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, no, not steam things made of bamboo. The device is made of bamboo, and it is to steam things.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I did not know that.
So that's what I've been doing on Fridays, experimenting with different ways to fold dumplings, and then also experimenting with different fillings. Yeah, which means I have no idea what day it is based on the food. How I know it's Friday is we're going to play Wheel of Stuff.
Uh-oh.
Before we get to that, though, I was only trying to figure out the system that we were talking about yesterday. It's not justification. I worry about introducing unknowns into the thing that Apple has, but that is not based on, well, you can't introduce women because that'll freak people out. You can't introduce people of color because that'll freak people out. It's more like they're all part. It's almost like they've joined a cult. It's almost like they are part of some organism that works the way it works. And I hope, I won't go so far as to say I trust, I hope that they are working to integrate that, to make that better. I believe they are, based on the stuff that they've talked about in hiring. I believe it too, based on the people that we're seeing on stage. And my point about seeing people on stage is not them going, see, we got a person of color. See, we got a woman. What I'm saying is this Johnny Turnus guy, I don't know, except I know I've seen him on stage, and now he's an executive. There is an Asian American woman whose name I cannot remember, who I have seen several times now. I fully expect 3 years from now, 5 years from now, when people retire, I'm going to look up and I'm going to see her on their executive board, and other people that we've seen in some of the chip design stuff. I fully expect we're going to look up and see that one day. They move ridiculously slowly in the way they bring people up. And maybe that is the thing that they need to work on. I do think it's going to change. I do think it's going to take time. I don't think that is I wish they had said that 10 years ago. I wish we had seen that kind of stuff 10 years ago or 15 years ago. Because 10 years ago or 15 years ago, then you would be looking up and seeing a completely different thing there. I'm not justifying. I'm trying to figure out how it's going to go going forward. And what I really wish is that it had gone that way 10 or 15 years ago, because then you might not have so many idiots running around yelling about, things are changing, I don't like it. And I apologize to anybody I just offended, but think about why you're offended. If that speaks to you, if what I just said speaks to you, think about why you're offended before you yell at me. And then feel free to yell at me, because I'll yell back. Or I'll apologize, one or the other. Sorry.
Do you feel better?
Well, no, I don't feel better, because it still sounds like I'm a white guy trying to defend the white guy thing, and I'm not that. I'm trying to figure out how we get where we're going forward, because I think it would also be bad to just suddenly let's throw in a bunch of other people. Apple never throws in a bunch of other people, whether they're white or old or young or anybody, male or female. Throwing in a bunch of people. Tim Cook's been there since 98. Riccio has been there since 98 to 2000. I can't remember which. They don't do new hire. I mean, that's the thing. Lisa Jackson is the newest new hire they have, but that's because they were going in a completely different direction of not just saying we care about the environment, but actually starting environmental policies, right? And so when they did that, they didn't hire a white guy. They hired somebody who used to head up the EPA, who is also a woman of color.
Yeah, she's not a senior VP, so
Wow.
she's not on the leadership team. That's what I was just looking at with the leadership team.
Interesting, because see, to me, that's just a title. I would say that she's more of a leader.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. She's below the line. She's a vice president.
Okay. Because I would say that she is honestly as much of a leader as anybody at that company now, with the exception of Tim Cook. If anybody's going to be talking about the direction that Apple is going, because Craig Federighi will talk about the direction for software, but he's talking about the direction for software. And Tim Cook talks about the direction that Apple is going, and Lisa Jackson talks about the direction that Apple is going. They're talking about two different things,
right?
But I mean, they are talking about the directions that the company is heading.
That was definitely a killer hire. That was good.
Yeah. I
do want to say one thing. One of the reasons I'm so frustrated here is watching Biden name his cabinet has changed my belief that, well, it takes time. Mm-hmm. He just waltzed up there and said, all right, I'm going to put in this black guy and this woman. And here's I got some veterans in here, and I got this. Here's a trans woman. And, he just the staff now looks like us.
I 100% agree with that.
He just did it.
I absolutely agree with that. I will say America is an unwieldy corporation whose board gets remade every 4 to 8 years.
Right.
In ways that, like, I don't know anything about how long it took the woman's name who's running Ford. Is she still running Ford? I don't know. I don't know how long. I don't know how long she worked in that company, how long she worked up into that company.
I think it was a long time. My uncle knew her, and he worked for GM.
Okay.
And talked about her. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love what I'm seeing as far as the Biden administration, as far as the people that they've named and the diversity in that. I 100% agree with that. I think if you tried to remake any company like that every 4 to 8 years, you'd be like, wow, remember that company that used to do that stuff? Because, I don't know. Anyway, hey, we're supposed to be having fun.
Good. Let's do that.
I am having fun, actually. Do you want to remind people one more time while I get the app open, by the way? Remind people one more time, best places to find you, best places to follow you.
So all of my fine podcasts are at podfeed.com. We talked a couple days ago about the NosillaCast, which is my main flagship show, but I also do Chit Chat Across the Pond Light, which is where I talk to tech people I find interesting, and another show called Programming by Stealth that I do with Bart Bouchatz, where we're learning to program in an audio podcast that comes with phenomenal written show notes by Bart. So Bart is the instructor, and I am the idiot student going, wait, I don't understand. What did you mean by that? Explain that to me. It's a really fun experiment. We've been doing that we've been going on for a long time, more than 5 years doing learning to program. Super fun. One of my things that I just am really excited about that I've done with Bart.
Cool. Yeah, he's actually he's going to be on in a few minutes again soon as well.
Good. He's awesome sauce.
He and Wheel of Stuff will actually be here at least until Bart is here. But I'm thinking it might be time to change that up. But I know both you and Bart said that you were interested in spinning the Wheel of Stuff, and so we have that. People know what this is, but I will remind any new listeners. I bought a Decision Maker app. I put a bunch of stuff on the Decision Maker app. We spin the wheel. I throw whatever the wheel lands onto the guest, and conversation ensues. Are you ready to spin the Wheel of Stuff, Allison Sheridan?
I'm ready to spin.
Excellent. Here we go. You'll be happy to know, by the way, I took all the music questions off the wheel.
Oh, good.
Animal, vegetable, mineral.
Oh, when did that happen? Animal, vegetable, or mineral? Oh, apparently now it's reading the thing out to you. Because I've talked before about the fact that this app, they update it quite a bit. I was surprised that they updated it at all, because I would assume a Decision Maker app, you make the wheel, you're done. But they continue to update it, including now apparently reading the things on there for you. So yeah, animal, vegetable, or mineral?
I don't know how to play that. But what do you mean?
You have three choices: animal, vegetable, or mineral.
And I pick one of those, and then you're going to ask me another question about it?
Yeah, probably.
Animal.
Why?
I have a dog, and I really like her, and 2 cats that I like.
Okay. But you like vegetables, don't you?
And not as much as I like my dog.
I don't blame
Her
you.
name is Tesla.
Yeah. Because you're kind of into
Named
those.
after Nikolai.
Oh, not after the car.
Definitely not after the car. The cars came after her.
Really?
Yeah, her name was going to be Higgs. We're going to name her after the Higgs boson. In fact, for the first day, that was her name. But it wasn't just quite fitting with her, and she rolled over, and she has a Tesla logo on her chest.
Really?
It looks like it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we named her Tesla.
Okay. So animal. See? There you go. That's how it works. Because no, the question made absolutely no sense, Allison. The question made no sense. And yet, from it, conversation is born. Spinning the wheel again. You ready?
Oh, I get to spin more than once. I get it.
3 times. Yeah. 3 spins of the wheel. Here comes spin number 2. Now this horrible person is going to say something to me. I need to find out if there's a way to turn that off.
I like it.
My hero, real.
There you go. Real life hero. See, that's the thing. A lot of times I put on here like just like hints to me to say what the question is. So like some of them are going to come up and it's not going to make any sense when she says it, but then I'll say it. So my hero, real. It's pretty obvious. A real life hero, somebody who actually exists, not somebody from, books or movies or things like that. But if there is a real life person, could be somebody you know, could be somebody historical. Who is a real life hero to you?
My dad.
Really? Tell me why.
He was an engineer, and definitely influenced me to be an engineer. And I spent a lot of time in the garage working with him out in the shop and working on cars, which he hated, but sailing with him and just going on adventures. And he was definitely believed in me and that I could do what I wanted to do. And he listened to me, and I just adored him to pieces.
Let me ask you a question. When you say he encouraged you to be an engineer, did he encourage you to be an engineer like, I don't know what I want to do, you should be an engineer? Or he encouraged you to be an engineer like you thought, I think I want to do that, and he said, well, you can? There were some real specific things. Like I remember we were working on something on a car once. It was some sort of little lever that just was very clever the way it worked and the problem it solved. It was really neat. I really liked it, just the way this thing moved. And he looked at me, goes, "You are such an engineer. You would love it, mechanical engineering." And so that planted the seed. And I often wonder about people talk about trying to pick what they're going to be when they grow up. And I feel like I always knew I was going to be an engineer. I didn't actually stay an engineer. I diverted after about 11 years out of it, and which surprised the heck out of me that I didn't actually like it as much as I thought I would. When I found out about information technology, it turned out to be more interesting to me. The first CAD systems came in, and I found it was more fun to figure out how to get that tool to do what I wanted it to do than it was to what I was actually designing. I enjoyed that more. That's really interesting. You ready to spin one last time?
One last time.
This one, by the way, is for all the marbles. There are no actual marbles.
My hero, fiction.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I should have removed one of those. My hero, fiction. Yeah. So I really liked your answer about your dad, and I wish these two were reversed, but they're not because the wheel is the wheel. I don't know, characters from movies, comic books, whatever. I'm
going to go with the lead character in the book A Gentleman in Moscow.
Okay.
Have you heard of that book?
No.
It is in my top 10 favorite things I've ever read in my life. Basically, the plot is this guy I think it's like after the Bolsheviks come into Russia, and he ends up with the choice of being shot in the head or living the rest of his life in a hotel. And he chooses obviously to move to the hotel, and he was a part of the royal family. He was a big wig who had lots and lots of money and everything. And he ends up living in this hotel for the rest of his life. So the entire book takes place inside this hotel, and he reacts with grace at what's happened to him, and things get worse, and he's just a wonderful person to think that I would love to be like him, where I would just react with such grace to such a terrible situation, and it's just fabulous. It's a wonderful tale.
I had to look it up really quickly, by the way. It turns out I am not going to have to bleep Bolshevik.
Oh.